Hello and welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a little bit of a mixed mash. So backstory. Months and months ago I put up a post asking you guys if you had questions and I would do a Q&A video. And then obviously I had all that numbness go on and I got sick and I had some issues and I never did the actual video. But I did write down all of the questions and I found them the other day in a pile of stuffs. And seeing as we are now officially back filming, being a channel person, adult again, I figured we would do that original video that we were going to do. And I'm just going to sort my camera out, and that we didn't. So I have all my questions off to one side, and then I thought, well, might as well work on something, crack on and do things while we're at it. So let's move this camera arm out of my way so I can actually do things. I do just want to preface this with, if you watched the video and your question was not asked and answered, please pop it in the comments below, and if I get enough questions I will do another video, and if I only get a couple I will just reply to them in the comments. So either way, chuck your comment down below. I will still reply whether there's a video in it or not. It's not what we're about. I will answer your questions either way, but obviously if I do get, on the off chance, quite a few, then I'll do a part 2 as such. Why do I always end up with a mark on everything? So I really fancy colouring something green. So I'm going to start with the leaves. I know, guys, this is my Ken Matsuda colouring book, and this is one of my love it too much to colour in it books, which, you know, working on that this year and being super brave about things and getting stuff coloured in and just colouring whatever I want to, whatever I fancy, whatever I'm in the mood for. And this was it. Having lighting issues already, we haven't even started. Right. That will probably have to do, guys. Suppose we can. There we go. Right. Just when you think you're all organised and you've got everything. Right, okay, guys. So, if you're going to do some earthy, neutral toned greens, I figured I would reach for my Luminance. Why not? It's not a tutorial, so it doesn't matter. I can colour what I want with. And I'm just going to crack on and see if I get a tiny, tiny bit of colouring done while we do these questions and answers. Why not? Here's me trying to work out what is what. Just pick a spot, work them out as you go, make a start. Okay, so Q&A in the order that they were asked in the post, and as I said, if yours is not asked and answered, chuck it in the comments down below, and either way you will get, you can ask one whatever you want. Just Q&A, not bothered, you know, if it's about the books I like or whatever, it can be anything. So ambient landscapes. Her question was, if you use blender pencils, what's your favourite blender pencil and why? Which is an awesome question. I know a lot of people do like a blender pencil. I know like the Splendor blender and things like that are very popular. I think there's the Caran d'Ache one and the Prismacolor one, and I'll be honest, I have never ever, I mean I've tried them, but never really gotten into using blender materials. I prefer to take my palest tone and use that, and I will very lightly feather my work out so that I don't get any harsh lines as I go. So it's just not part of my colouring style. I always find that a blender changes the colour too much, and you know, it can add a bit of a grey cast. I mean, you could just blend with white, but sometimes I don't want to add white to my blend. And yeah, I've just found taking a very pale tone, don't get me wrong, if you're going to do blue, white is a beautiful blending colour for blue, but for me, I work with my pencils and that's all I use. If I'm on cheap paper like the Amazon paper, In that case, I will go in with a layer of alcohol marker first, so I don't need to put as much pencil down, so that, you know, you don't get to that tricky point where blending is no longer an option very quickly. And I just kind of, I do kind of go backwards from what is kind of the golden art rule of light to dark. I'm a colourist. I'm not selling my artwork. I'm not an artist. I'm just sat, relaxing, chilling, colouring. I know I do some colour alongs and show you guys how I colour, but they are by no means ever meant to be the rules of colouring, as I immediately break them the moment I start to colour. But I like the way my work turns out. I think it looks okay. So I don't have an issue with, you know, colouring in the way that my brain finds comfortable and prefers to work in. It's never really been something that is like not allowed me to create the work that I had in my brain, so I'm alright with it. And as you go along and you've been colouring for a little bit longer, you'll start to kind of add random colours, like a random little bit of a colour, just to make things more interesting. Like, I've started these green leaves and they're beautiful and I'm happy, but I would really love to chuck a bit of orange in, which is something I would never have thought to do when I first started my colouring journey. And this is why, you know, when you do a page and you didn't think it was awesome and you don't think it's that good, it's always nice to have later to really be able to see how far you've come on your colouring journey. Like, I have a lot of, even the books that I no longer have, I've kept the pages to them, like pulled out the pages that I coloured. So I have those like embarrassing, quote unquote, early works that maybe, you know, I could do better now. Whereas I think they're alright. They're not amazing, but to me, they're alright. So I'm just adding a tiny bit of orange into that blend to see how I feel about it. Right, so I'll try not to spend so much time on each question because, oh my god. So no, I don't really use a blender pencil, and I don't use them because I just find it adds a tone I don't like to my work. So the idea with a blender pencil for them to work well is you just use them in tiny little like spot patches. And I don't know, I've just always found that a light tone pencil will do that job for me. And then I just go back in with my dark to add my dark values back in, and I'm generally satisfied with where that leaves me. I've not worked on this paper before. I haven't worked with these pencils on this paper before, and these blends are going to take me a hot minute until I find what's going to work. I'll be honest, I think this is the first paper that I'm not totally loving the way my luminance are laying down, which is a super new feeling for me personally. So next question. Well, Ellen Colours who asked, who do you like better, me or Corey? She had two questions. I'm going to assume the second question was her real one, but you know, if she didn't want it bringing up, she shouldn't have written it down. So Ellen Colours is Erica here on YouTube. She's a YouTube colouring channel, and of course Corey is Colourfully Optimistic here on YouTube. And I mean, I've been friends with them now probably for a few years. Like, yeah, I bet it's a few years. It does go past pretty quickly. We know each other pretty well, and me and Erica moderate. Well, I'm not so much anymore just because I just don't get the free time to be useful to Corey at all. Sorry, Corey. As one of her moderators, I do pop into evidence on her lives when I can, just to show my continuing devotion and support whenever I can. But we're both moderators for her, so it's a bit of a standing joke. And my only answer to that, Erica, is I of course have no favourites at work. I use the exact same answer to my nurses when they ask that exact same question. I am not foolish enough to fall for that kind of trap that will only get you in trouble if you answer that question. And then the second question, she has asked me, what books are piquing your interest lately? And I'll be honest, I'm in the middle of a bit of a like craft room / life sort out, because I think they're the two of the same things. And really whittling my collection down to the things that I super love and super want to work in, because if you've ever seen my colouring book collection video, it is mahoosive, like ridiculously mahoosive. And so I'm not buying a lot of books at the minute. I'm really not. Having said that, I have the new Joanna Basford on pre-order, the new Kirby Rosanas, like sat waiting to press the button, and the new Mythographic by Joseph Kattenbang, like pre-ordered. Because yeah, my favourites I will continue to buy. I have quite a big set of like artist favourites that are kind of like must-buys for me. I kind of considered doing a big video on that. I'm not sure whether you guys would actually be interested or not. You have to pop in the comments down below if that's something that you would like to see, like who makes it to my must-buy pile, like no matter how many I already have and how many I haven't coloured in and won't colour in and won't get to, that I will still buy their books as they come out, even on the Amazon paper, because I have a couple that are even that. I will still buy them even though they're on that. I think I'm starting to find my groove here a little bit. With the paper. Just a little. We know that I'll never ever be happy with this first leaf that I did. Just because. Well, what can you do? So the next question I got was from user ZNICQ3EN8P, or Caller, and I'm pretty sure she wrote her name so that I wouldn't have to call that out. But Caller asks, how often do you colour? The number of hours in a session, days per week. Do you have favourite books to colour in or favourite illustrators? And what are your favourite 2 or 3 pencils that you use? She had bare questions. So how often do I colour? I'll be honest, that vastly goes up and down. Depending on mainly like my mood. Sometimes I will be an absolute colouring fanatic and it's all I want to do, just like constantly have a page in front of me at my desk downstairs. It'll be out at my lunchtime at work and I will colour and I will get a few pages done in a month. And then other times I can go, more so now that I've been colouring a bit longer, I can go kind of days without picking up a pencil. I think that's just one of those natural things of any hobby, especially when you have more than one hobby, of finding this kind of happy medium. I do of course diamond paint as well now, and I do have a diamond painting channel because apparently when I get a new hobby I start a channel for some reason, called well, I can't remember the name of that, Diamonds Are Forever, on YouTube. I will pop it in the description box below just in case you guys are diamond painting fanatics like me and maybe slightly interested in watching some of the, got quite a few videos on there that you can binge watch if you so desire. I'll pop the link to that in the description box below. I'm also a real big gamer fan. I play a lot of computer games. I play big RPGs, JRPGs. It's just, that's a hobby I've had for my entire like adult life. Big part of something I enjoy to do. Love it and love it. So it depends like what game I'm loving, what mood I'm in. I occasionally make cards. I say occasionally now because I've not felt the mood for a while. I go up and down with that, like on and off like a switch. I'll make them like mad for a while and then I won't touch them forever. I do of course make my wax melts, which is probably more of a sales thing than a hobby, I guess. And I'm quite a big reader, but I don't read anymore because I read so much my eyes can't take it. Like I just give myself a migraine and nuke my brain. So for the last few years I've been a real big Audible fan. So I actually listen to most of my books now. It does let me kind of get 2 hobbies in at once. That's how how stressful I feel about the amount of time I have to do stuff. I like to feel like I'm getting 2 things done at once. So nowadays if I'm colouring or diamond painting, I will generally have an audio book playing in the background because I don't have to watch it, or I will have YouTube on. And I'm right back into my makeup lately, so I have been watching a little bit of makeup YouTube again. Just, you know, I like watching declutters and things. I like watching declutters. When I've had to replace a couple of bits of my makeup because they were old AF for new, and so I do at that time tend to like check out some like what's new, what's hot reviews, what they're saying. So I bought a couple of bits to replenish my old crusty stuff, because I'm wearing that on the daily now. So yeah, my interests tend to just follow whatever I'm currently doing, but my colouring hasn't been right to the forefront for a while, I don't think. Couldn't tell you how many hours in a session, but I'll be honest, once I do sit down a good while, I'll probably burn a few hours. I mean, you guys know it'll take me this whole video to colour about 6 leaves, if that. So I don't get anywhere fast with it, so yeah, it kind of is what it is. And I very frequently will colour at my lunch hour at work, so I probably get about 30 minutes in there. I like to do it to just chill and decompose and have a pretty quiet, peaceful lunch. And most days I will pull a book out. My co-workers are just used to it now. It's just no like, what's going on here shock anymore. Been doing it too long. Hashtag don't care. Like, judge me all you want. You call me a nerd if you want. Don't care. As long as my brain is chill and I'm happy, I'm not bothered. So I think my favourite books to colour in or favourite illustrators is kind of one of those things. If you want to see that big list, because it is quite big, do pop in the comments down below whether you're interested in that video, and I'll compile a video like that. And then what are your favourite 2 or 3 pencils to use? My Brute Foruna Squares or my budget babes. Love them, love them, love them, love them, absolutely love them. Big Polychromos fan. The Faber-Castell Polychromos, really like to sit and play and layer with all, especially in like the Hannah Coles on paper, the Maria Trolley paper, stuff like that. I mean, I have so many that I love. It's very difficult. Prisma are much higher on my list than they used to be. Now that I use them in like Christine Caron, Derya Kiyasi kind of paper, they are way up there compared to how I liked them before. And for the sheer creaminess and range of colours, the Black Widow. I have always had a little bit of a soft spot for the Black Widow. And then of course, because it has to be there, I know it can be controversial, but I love my Holbein. I do love me some Holbein. Mass fan. So those would be the hottest favourites for me. I'll tend to have like a pencil of the minute, like, you know, a brief love affair on and off with whatever pencil I'm using. Generally it goes kind of back and forth. Right, Marie, who is colouring me happy, asks, what's the worst few wastes of money you spent on colouring and a few of the best spends you've made? Waste of money. I mean, you could see that about many things, couldn't you, with the amount of money that I've dropped? But I don't really hate anything that I've purchased. I think for sheer, like, what do I really use compared to like the amount of money I spent on it, the Distress inks and the Distress oxides, I don't hate them. In fact, I take that back, I like the Distress oxides. The Distress inks, not so much. I wish I'd have got the oxides first, but when I come right down to it, I think I would have been fine just having the Suki Nature inks that I had, the 36 set, because I use them to death and I love them. And realistically, did I then need to get any other sets? No, I really didn't. So maybe, yeah, I think probably like the amount of things I've bought in each category. Like, I have stopped doing that for the most part. Like my alcohol markers, I just have the Ohuhu, and that is one of the best investments I made. I've got one of the really big sets, like the 360 or something, is it, of Ohuhu markers, and those things are the bomb. Love them. What else? I mean, probably everybody else would say the amount of pencils I've bought, but I mean, I am a colouring channel, albeit a tiny one that doesn't make any money, but I do like to review and show and use different sets, and I'm a big pencil fan, so I just don't find it in me to see any of them as a waste, because I can make any of them work. So can't add it to my list. The best, what did she say? The best spends you've made. My Holbein was not a spend I made. They were a 40th birthday present from my dad, because he's awesome. And I love those beasties. They were not cheap. One of the most expensive set of pencils that I own for sure, but I love them. And I'll be honest, any kind of big ticket item in my collection is almost always going to have been a gift from a family member, like a set of family members if they've given me like a voucher, or my husband. My husband's the most generous human being on this planet. He will always buy me, like for anniversary or Christmas or birthday, you know, a big ticket item in one of my hobbies without even batting an eye, blinking, nothing. He is super awesome like that. What else? What else? I mean, for the most part, other than my pencils, I've not really invested vast amount. I have my soft pastels, and my only regret with those is that I haven't used them more. So I've got them, they were expensive, I've got a few sets of them, and all I can say to that is I'm just hoping to get more use out of them because they are actually pretty awesome. And then one of my best, and none of these were really a big investment either. I am a massive gel crayon fanatic, fan, obsessive compulsive person. I have stopped myself from purchasing any more because I own an actual drawer full in my IKEA unit, my Alex drawers. I've got a drawer full of gel crayons. I especially love the tones and colours of the King Art ones, just because they're like a little bit more artisty, so they're kind of more natural colours, but they're all pretty fabulous, to be honest. I use them dry with a brush, blend them out, and you can just create the quickest, most effortless, most awesome backgrounds that you ever did see with like a tiny bit of like, you don't have to have this amazing skill in backgrounds that I don't have, or this vast amount of time to invest in them, and they are just awesome. Yes, I'm definitely having a love affair with my gel crayons. What else? Big item, expensive thing. I have recently begun and I didn't mean for it to start out this way, but it is inevitably the way that I am. I have begun a new love affair with the Tooly Art paint pens, and with collecting said Tooly Art paint pens. Again, it tends to be something I'll get as a birthday gift, Christmas gift, anniversary gift, or for husband or friends and family, and I'm racking up a fair few sets at this point. I don't know how many I've got altogether, maybe about 3, 4, and I know for a fact that my husband has already asked me what couple of next colour packs I would like for my birthday next month, so yeah, that's happening. And they are expensive. Like, I wouldn't be going out buying all those packs at once, that's for sure. They tend to retail, although quite a lot of the time they will have a voucher on them, which is like awesome, and that tends to be when I grab them. You know, they can be like £35 for a box of 22, and they're not big pens, but I think it's the sheer colour range that does it for me. I've never seen so many. And so far, each pack that I have purchased, I have not had a double of the same colour, which feels like ridiculously amazing considering how many pens I have. And that's definitely turned into rather an expensively big investment of a collection. But again, I just can't feel sorry about it. I really feel now like, you know, I can just scroll through my pencil case I've got them in and find any Tooly Art paint pen colour that I'm looking for. My only thing is now I do want to start using them more. Would be a good idea, huh? Yes, I really do. Okay, so Jamie's colouring love. How do you organise your distress inks and your gel crayons? Right. To be honest, am I going to do this? Am I going to just show the ugly truth. It's me, of course I am. This I like accidentally shut off my camera then. This is the sheer horror that some people are going to feel here. So this is my organised gel crayon drawer. This is why I've stopped buying said gel crayons. My favourites are on top, my King Art. This is of course ordered by colour and size and brand, of course, because how else would you ever find anything? And you know what? I love this drawer. It makes me actually happy. I mean, it's so bad I have to be careful, because if I push them to the back when I'm looking, they'll actually fall down the back of the drawer because they're too deep. But this is a disgusting amount of gel crayons that I just got to the point where ordering them was taking more time than playing with them, so I stopped doing it. When I'm doing my background, I pull a load out in whatever. I don't go by brand. I find the colours that I fancy. So green, yellow combo. Have a little look and a play of what I want. That might be the background for my Ken Matsuda there. And that's what I do. That's what I use. I'm going to leave those on top because I feel like I just picked my background colours. And we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna pretend that, yeah, we're alright with that. I'm gonna just continue. So that happened. Sorry to disappoint you there, Jamie. If you thought that was going to have a better plan to it or system to it than it does. Got to stop touching this paper or it picks up marks. Something terrible. Like if you breathe on this thing with mucky breath, it's gonna be like I think I'm just making it worse. All over the place. And my distress inks, in fairness, I have like a set of colourful drawers over there, which you will have seen in any of my what's the beef with that? My craft room videos that has drawers with loads of stuff in, and one drawer has my distress inks, and they are just piled in there. I keep them flat so that, you know, don't have any ridiculous accidents, but they're just all sat in the bottom of the drawer, living their best life. Yeah, I do my best, but things being organised, like truly everything has its place, has its drawer, has its little spot, but not like lined up or like with little dividers. My room isn't that kind of like curated influencer YouTuber pretty white cubes and shelves, and like I'm in the before of a YouTuber craft room makeover, not the after. That's where I'm at. I'm the before stage of a beautiful craft room. The thing is, I am quite happy. I have an eclectic amount of, like, I've got bookcases, drawers, plastic shelving units, an IKEA worktop and drawers. I've got like plastic little cart trolleys off to the sides in different shapes. I've got like one of those old-fashioned hairdresser looking little 10-tier trolley drawer things. I've got like not a Kallax unit, but that kind of like square things behind me. And the thing is, when it comes to like where I store my stuff, I'm ridiculously cheap, because it means I can buy stuff I can use and love instead. Like, I just washed my hands before I coloured, because I always do. So it must actually just be ink transferring from the book, but it's really starting to irritate me. It's actually annoying me quite a bit. So I'm going to put a piece of paper over my book, because I will inevitably, I hold my page down, I hold my book in place, I put my hand down. So we're gonna have to do that, and I will fix it with a dark patch of my background there later if it won't rub off, because it's actually really irritating me, full stop, to be honest. Where was I? Yeah, I'd rather spend cash on my pencils, if I'm being really transparent, which is the point of a Q&A, isn't it? The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the goddamn truth. So sorry, Jamie. It's not pretty, but it is what it is. Hannah Rainbow Colours 327 had a few questions. She says, question number 1, why and when did you start colouring? I started colouring, like many of us, in 2020. I feel like that will be a standard answer for a lot of adult people around this time, for a lot of why their hobbies got going. I bet there's people that didn't even have hobbies before 2020 that do now. They maybe they don't now, maybe they had it for about 12 minutes. But I just really needed something that took me off social media, off my computer, off electronic gadgets altogether, and just let me sit in a place of peace, mindfulness and quietness. And if I'm being really honest, something to spend my money on, like to retail therapy myself, because apparently that is how I fix all my problems. I find a new hobby and I buy lots of things, and it makes me feel better. And apparently in a world pandemic, that is my cure. And I just bought a Johanna Basford book, like we all did. Like, if you started colouring without a Johanna Basford book, I suppose you're like a rarity. And I just absolutely loved it. I started with pencils because I prefer pencils, like full stop. But weirdly enough, no, I never really coloured as a kid. You know, it wasn't one of these things that stayed with me. I never took art lessons or wanted to do art or graphic design or work in that kind of field, or touched a pencil set and paper at any point in my adult life up till then. I was already a gamer. I'd tried diamond painting, I wasn't like fanatically involved in it, and dabbled in card making. I cannot draw to save my life, so it hadn't really been anything I'd thought of. It was just a suggestion made by someone I knew that like it really helped them and they really enjoyed it and I should have a go. And I went on Amazon, because that's what we do when we're buying anything nowadays. We go on Amazon, and I grabbed, I think I bought a big set of the older Brute Fooners in the plastic trays, those round barrel Brute Fooners in plastic trays. And I got a Johanna Basford book. Either Secret Garden or Enchanted Forest was my first. A pack of gel pens, a pack of watercolour pens, because I'm extra, so can't just start with the pencils and a book like a normal person. And I went from there. And my second set of pencils for you know, like 5 minutes in of like loving my colouring, I was boom, polychromos. committed, invested, already this is my life now. Loved it. Yeah. So, number 2, what was the first picture you ever coloured? Had to have a little pausey moment there where I went and got the binder. I was saying earlier that like I have pulled out pages from old books that I got rid of because I wasn't going to work in again, and actually I'd forgotten this was like a super cheapy what's even the word, like a big you know, like 100 pages of random pictures in a colouring book. This was actually my niece. My niece gave me this, and I coloured it in her book, and this was the first thing I coloured, like full stop, at all, ever. And I was so proud of him at the time, and he's kind of cute. He's obviously like pretty standard. But I added some shading and I made him cute, and I added some black and I put black pencil over the silver metallic gel crayon that I used. And this is like a really cheap chalk pastel background. The Mungyo's, in fact this is the Mungyo's soft pastels in the background. Because I got those pretty quick as well. I think I got them super on sale when I was getting my Joanna Basford book as well. And yeah, I just actually have the first page that I coloured, I think. I'm not sure if any of these were... I mean, this is like maybe a couple of pages after that. That flower is horrendously terrible, but I was so proud of her skin and hair at the time, like really was. So cute. So yeah, that is that one. I do have it. It is there. Right, yay. Question number 3. What was the first book and pencils that you bought? So, oh, accidentally already answered that. Awesome, go me. It was definitely, possibly, maybe Secret Garden or Enchanted Forest. I'm not sure. I feel like it was Enchanted Forest. I feel like I got Enchanted Forest first. I'm pretty sure out of the two that I got that one first. I could look, I could go back through my Amazon look, but I'm not gonna. And then question 4, what did you like, art or colouring as a kid? Oh no, I've just read that wrong. Did you like art or colouring as a kid? I'm thinking, huh, are the two things not the same? I feel like the two things are the same. Did you like art or colouring as a kid? And as I said, no, not really, nope. You know, like any kid, I coloured a bit. But I was a big reader. Reading was my thing. I just loved to read books. Like I was on like big, thick storybooks. By the time I was like 11, 12, I was hooked into the world of story fiction. It's probably why I love RPG games so much, just because I love a story. I love a good, well thought out, well executed story, like beyond. Just love it. I'm not finding, in all honesty, this paper to be the easiest to blend on with these pencils. And just full transparency, I can see you trying a different pencil type for the flowers and the... I mean, I'm committed to the green combo now, but I can see me swapping out to a different pencil set for the other elements of this page, to be honest. This is possibly also because I'm chatting and not paying 100% of my attention to my Blending doesn't help maybe, but yeah, definitely it's annoying me. Nine no fuss no muss 945 asked, what is your favourite medium for backgrounds and why? So as I said, I am gel crayon all the way, fanatical, obsessed. If I never ever got to purchase any other colouring medium and they gave me one choice, ride or die, gel crayons, job done. I'm happy. I would not miss a thing. And mainly because they are easy, quick and mess free. Because I use them dry with a brush, they are really not messy at all for me. I do need to use a palette with them that I then do have to wash, but even for me that's not the end of the world. I've so far survived. And you do need some, like, you know, okay blending brushes, but they are beautiful. You get so many colours, they blend out amazing. Once you kind of got the hang of it after a bit of a practice, you'll get really beautiful blended backgrounds in quite vibrant colour payoffs, like really quickly as well. I can knock out a background with those in a few minutes and be on to my next picture. And that is the main, in all honesty, no matter what else, that is the main love for me, that I don't have to spend 10 million years on a background or risk a bad background on a page that I've just spent weeks and hours and days and bare amount of time colouring, because it hurts my heart. Colouring Gen 1975 had quite a few questions. She says, who are your favourite colour tubers to watch? I have a lot and they can't all be mentioned here, but currently right up there is of course Art Journey UK, Lily, Amazeballs. Oh my god, her reviews are so totally in depth. She loves comparing stuff and she goes like all in. And she's just funny. She's just funny to watch. She just makes me laugh. And when I'm watching something while colouring, I just want a little bit of a personality, like a little bit of sass, a little bit of funny. Somebody who's like into the colouring but not going to take herself so seriously that, like, you know, like they're too scared to say a single thing their whole video about something they don't like. Lily, awesome, love it. Colouring with Kay, because she's like a glitter queen. I do not use a lot of sparkle on my pages, and therefore I live my sparkle life vicariously through Kay. She will bling it, bring it, it's amazing, and she does all these videos showing you like what she's working on and how she does it, and I just like to watch them. She's far too strict on herself about her colouring skills. She always says like, oh, I did okay. They're amazing, just watch it, she's amazing. And then of course Erica from Elm Colours, like, love you B, and Corey from Colourfully Optimistic. You get the same, so there's no unfairness, people. And more recently, obviously, my Colourful Country Life. I think I found her like way later than anyone else did. She does the most amazing constant Kirby work. Like, how are there that many hours in the day, and what am I doing with all of mine? She gets through so many pages in his books. They're all colour alongs and filmed and edited and posted on her channel, and it is crazy. And this is why my channel is so small, because I just cannot, I do not have the sheer amount of time required to be that fantastic. And I definitely, I mean, I'm not one to really colour along, but I still love watching her colour a Kirby page. Like, you can still find the sheer pleasure and joy in watching her colour it, and therefore feeling like I've coloured it, than needing to colour along. I still enjoy a good colour along video, whether I'm colouring the page or not. Is that weird? Comment down below if you're one of those. Like, will you watch a colour along and not colour the page? I definitely have no problem with that. Like, just stalking a page that I'm not even working on. Well, let's feel like we did a bit of colouring here and crack on. Okay, so where am I? What is your favourite colouring book of all time? Whew. Wow. See, wasn't messing. Jeez, put you right on the spot. I mean, anyone who's watched my channel for any period of time, 1 second, I'm getting my book, is not going to be shocked by this, and everyone else is going to be like, oh my god, why is an Amazon paper book your favourite colouring book of all time? How does that make any sense? But this is she. I'm gonna do that, and this is gonna happen. This is Vassal Psycho's Reptiloids. He has a book too, but this is still, like, for me, on top, because of the sheer amount of pages and work I've done in this. This is my favourite. This is probably what started and cemented my love of colouring, and this is one of my first colour alongs on the channel, is a page out of here. And even after all this time on Amazon print, when I was still quite new and learning, because some of these are quite early on, I adore and love flipping through this book. It's really nice to have quite a few completed pages in a book. I feel like you can, like, have a little flashback look at your artwork and, like, how you've actually done in something. And this is that book for me. Although I've been colouring for 4 years already, because I colour quite slow and intermittently, I don't have books that are full of pages. And because I have so many books, they're like pages all over the place. But this is that book for me. Like, there are so many pages done in here. And for a long time I figured this would be the first book I completed. But I'm thinking that maybe my Hannah Lynn Enchanted Faces might actually end up being that. Love this guy. Lyra pencils. He's a work in progress. Alcohol markers and some kind of cheap, like, this is possibly like the Artex pencils. Possibly the best water I've ever done. Ever. Full stop. And a travel book for me is one of those, like, hurts my heart, need to sort that. One of those books that, you know, for someone like me, not a lot of time, too many books, colours slow, they're just a perfect size of pages. This is when I lived my life for glossy accent eyes. I think they're Luminance over marker. I've really used everything in here. He is one of the first colour alongs you will find on my channel. Little 2-part colour along. I thought I was so cute at the time. And that is Arteza Expert Pencils. And obviously over time he's faded a little. Not gonna lie, you know, he's looking his age a little bit. But I was so pleased with this. So pleased. And I still love him. Still love him. Brute Vuna squares over alcohol marker. Cheap pencils, cheap art markers, cheap paper. Like, love that page. Absolutely doable. I'm nearly through the nostalgia, guys. I just Once I start, I have to finish. She's an oldie but a goodie. She's a speed colouring on the channel as well. I think that's it. Absolute favourite of all time. Bet you wouldn't have thought it would be that. He cost me £4.35 like 4 years ago. And the book 2 wasn't much more, I don't think. Maybe £5.90 or something. Love it. If I didn't own a billion books already, and no, I won't recolour the same book, this is the one I would buy a second copy of. But for me, I'd rather colour something new. Like, I'd rather start on his second book than recolour his first, just to see. I know a lot of people like to see, like, comparison of how they did it then and how they do it now, but I'd rather colour something new. So, love you. Love you. Pop you there where you'll say. Amazing book. Highly recommend. Cannot recommend enough. You can get him off Amazon. Right. What is your favourite new artist that you have recently found? Ooh. Wow. Well, realistically, I'm not going to get a lot of colouring done now, am I? Recently, what do we class as recent? It's going to have to be him. He must be my most recent. Is he not? I want to say Morgan O'Brien, but I understand the fact that the sheer amount of books of his that I own, he can't be that recent a find. He just can't. So I think the most recent find, I keep moving my book out of the way because I don't want to get dirty marks on it by putting anything on top. I'm a bit paranoid about it, so that's why that happens. Is Kevin Teo art. And this was a very recent gift from a lovely lady called Christine. She sent this to me because she's really lovely, and I love this. I love the size, but he does work on the Amazon paper, I'm afraid. It is what it is. But if you go, he does have his own Etsy, and you can buy, like, digitally his drawings instead, if you like. I know plenty of people that do that, and then print them off on your nice paper, so you don't have to deal with the Amazon print. But he does these really cute grayscale kind of manga style drawings, all very different, and they're just, I love the humour to his pages. Like, they're a little bit quirky, a little bit funny, a little bit sassy, a little bit cool, and like, oh my god. Oh, they're the bonus pages. Right, I thought that it didn't feel very astro kawaii there, but they're just super cute, super fun. Obviously these are going to be Zodiac. And this has just turned into a flip through, hasn't it? And I do like a smaller book, so I have kept this one in this size because I love it. And I haven't actually coloured his work yet because, you know, story of my life. But super cute, super awesome, and definitely the newest one. Newest artist that I have purchased for a while, because I must admit I do tend to stick now to repurchases of new books out by my kind of beloveds, seeing as, let's be honest, the last thing I need is a new book in any respect. What do you do for a living? Do you have siblings? Were you autistic as a child? So, for a living, I am an orthodontic therapist. So I work in dental, in a general and specialist dental practice, and I work in, obviously, the orthodontic department, and I do teeth. So when you think of kids braces, then you would be exactly right. Obviously we do private treatment and treat adults as well, but we do see, like, the majority, like hundreds and hundreds of kids and I fit them, remove them, adjust them, tighten them, all the stuff in between, and that is what I do. That is about as interesting as that gets, to be honest. Just gonna try and zoom in a little so that you might actually be able to see a little bit of what's going on. I have one sibling. I have a sister, and she has 3 children, so 2 boys and a girl. So I also have 2 nephews and a niece. She's my younger sister by 4 years, and I was not autistic as a child in any way. There's no beautiful artworks posted on anywhere for me as a kid, and I cannot George save my life. Like, absolutely not. It's just not something I'm good at. My husband draws well, and my mum is really autistic. She's a beautiful drawer. She really is, but me, no. And then her last question, what is your favourite colour? I change like everything about as often as I change my socks on any given day, but generally like a sage green or an aqua or a turquoise, those kind of, that sort of colour family. I can't reduce it any further than that. That's the best I can do. Like, those 3, I would say, are usually the colours that I am super drawn to. Anna Banana 1984 asks, what are colouring books you've always wanted but haven't gotten yet? Oh, that's my problem, isn't it? I'm trying to think if there's any that I've always wanted. There is a Clara Markova that I don't own that I would love to have, and then I came to my senses and realised I haven't coloured in the 5 books of hers that I already have, so I didn't get it, and I for once showed what is an amazing little bit of restraint for me. And the others would be the Anastasia books, the Anastasia Cordova books, her like the one with the crow on the front, is it Crow Song? I don't know. Her 3 newest ones, like Amaranthine, the Crow one, and the other one. Like, I've got her 3 early books, so her newer stuff, because they're just amazing. Like, amazing. They would be the ones for me, I reckon. The Anastasia, Cordova, all her new stuff, for sure. Just to own them, because they're amazing, I love them. And I mean, realistically, yeah, the new Clara Markova, even though I definitely don't need it, they would be the ones for me, I reckon. They're just so expensive to get here that for something I know I'm not going to get round to and is going to sit on my shelf as a work of art for the most part, I can't do it. It can't happen. Just keep telling yourself that. Deborah Jane 68 says, have you ever coloured pine cones, and do you have any advice? I have not coloured pine cones, Deborah. I'm really sorry to be completely useless in that respect, but advice wise, if I was going to give some advice on it, if you pretend these are browns and not greens, so obviously your pine cones are all like, I cannot George save my life, like layered. No judgment. So you get like layers of almost like petals with pine cones, like coming up and into your central piece. And like any flower or anything else, you're going to put your darkness on the inside of each one, nice and quick. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. A little bit of shadowing, a dark brown, almost black, along the inside of each piece. And then you're going to take your like second tone and you're going to build that on top of each bit of shadow. And then you're going to take a lighter colour again and bring that out a little bit more. And you're going to take your really pale tone. You're going to blend that all in. These are brown, don't forget. Don't do green pine cones. Make them brown. And then you're going to take your dark colour again and you're going to just put that little bit, tiny bit of depth right back in. Tiny little bit, really dark, right on the inside of each piece. Contrast, contrast, contrast. And then you're going to take like a middle to second light tone of your green. I tend to go a bit darker, so, and you're just going to pop a little bit of that on the edges so that they then look like they're kind of folding back a little bit. So your lightness is in just near the end but not the end. And although not perfect, it's going to start to build up into this like cone look, and all your shadows is in the middle, so it looks like they're coming out from the middle, and that is the best idea I can really give you. Think a rose in brown and you'll end up with your pine cone. I hope that helped. I'm terrible at teaching is not my strong point, so if that left you with any more questions, pop them in the box below and I will try and answer those as well. Okay, we're like just a few more people left, guys. Sorry, this is turning into a bigger video than I expected. Jackie Conrad 859 says, what are your top 2 favourite coloured pencils and why? Now obviously I already answered that, so thank you for the question, Jackie, and see the earlier one. Adil or Addy1056, one of the two. What are your desert island supplies? Now, that is a good point. That is a darn good question. I can't remember if I've done a video on this or not. If I have, see video. In case I haven't, Matigal, got to be done. Although, let's be honest, realistically, on a desert island, I'd probably need a pocket knife to, number 1, keep me alive. Number 2, weapon. Number 3, sharpen my pencils. But, you know, if we're going purely artistic here, Matigal pencil sharpener, because it's got to be done. My gel crayons, which would mean a palette, and my brushes. I can clean them in the sea, so it's fine. I'll leave it out to dry in the sand, but I need them. It has to be. I would grab as many of my Ohuhu alcohol markers as possible and live my best life till they ran out. And I mean, realistically, as many pencils as I can physically hoard. But most certainly my Brute Puna squares. Yes, I'm going to take that budget pencil on my desert island and hope I have 3 boxes of them and live forever. My Black Widows, my Polychromos, my Holbein. And like I said, I mean, realistically, if there was a little bit of space on the side and they were going to stay on board, my Brute Puna macaron as well. Because if you're stranded on a desert island and your main priority is colouring, you might as well have some pastel toned pencils, people. What else? Everything else feels like a little bit luxury. You know, like, I'm not going to take a brush when I can blow the page off or hang it in the wind. I think they are the necessities for me, and I would be okay. I would live my best life, especially if I had my whole drawer of gel crayons. I think, like, I would be fine. Last a good long time. Savannah Havery. I think it's Savannah Avery. Savannah Avery, I think. 8830. Says, how do you use your Prisma in colouring books? Oh, with abandon. The thing with Prisma is they're so soft that you can just lay your colouring down and just live your best life and then smudge them all together and they will blend for you. I tend to use them in the shiny, nice Amazon paper that you get from Christine Karen and Doya Kakise, because they just work beautifully on that paper. And I'll be honest, that's mainly the only time that I do work with my Prisma. They do work nice in the Blue Angel Publishing books. So the new one by Christine Caron is on that paper, and the Jasmine Beckett Griffith. They do work nice in there. And I just build the layers up and then blend everything together with a paler tone, and then pop my dot back in and pretty much colour like I do any of my other pencils, but with less layers and a little bit more pressure. And a pencil sharpener on hand constantly to, you know, sharpen those little bad boys like every 5 minutes. Hope that answered that question. I don't think I have any special skill with Prisma, to be honest. Coloured by Maya 6476 says, are you planning to complete a colouring book, and if so, which one? Yes, and I'll be honest, I have 3 in that pile now at varying stages. Definitely my Reptiloids. I cannot say when and how because I colour too slow to know that, and I thought that book would have been done about 2 years ago. Definitely my Enchanted Faces. There we go. Because in fairness, she is also like the only other book that's akin to my Reptiloids for the sheer amount that it's coloured in. I do have a group of wonderful ladies that are all invested in this exact thing of finishing this book. Again, it's a travel size. I know my own chances of completing a full-size book are nil, so this is very reasonable, and it's just so much fun to have a book with so many completed pages. It is kind of why I started concentrating on fewer of my books, even while that means that a lot of my books are being ignored. It's just because this is so satisfying and rewarding to start to have books like this that are even not finished, have got like lots of finished pages in them. Work in progress. Again, Amazon paper hasn't bothered me at all. A lot of alcohol marker bases. It's just skin that I really struggle with on this paper, and realistically. If you guys have watched my 10 books to finish, you will see I have a handful of books that I really would like to work in, but these are the 2 that realistically I have faithfully stuck to on that fact. And then much more recently and much less filled in is my Joanna Basford Small Victories. You are seeing a theme here. If I could only keep certain books, they would all be like tiny books, because I get stuff done. And this, I do actually really enjoy playing in this, and I don't have like a crap ton done, but again, as you know, any done is a pretty good going for my standards. And I really like what I've managed to achieve so far, which always is much more likely to keep me coming back to a book. Recently finished that one. That's with the Brunzeel Expression pencils. Really enjoyed those. I think that's it. So not a whole lot done. A newer book to me as well, so I don't think I'm doing terribly bad actually with how far I've gotten so far. Might just put that in there for safety. And those would definitely be the ones that I would be the most actively trying to complete, for sure. For sure. Where am I? Corinne Keddy think. Corin Teddy. Hang on. Short-sighted. Corin Teddy, I think. 4154. Have you tried the Avasol London pencils yet? I haven't. And I'm not supposed to know this, but I did get an alert on my phone from Amazon. I think my husband might have gotten me those for my birthday. So he doesn't watch this far into my videos. It's fine. But I may own them soon. So we'll see. Watch this space. Niena C Colours says, how long have you been colouring? So 4 years since COVID. Did you colour much as a child? Nope. What's your favourite colouring book and supplies? Definitely answered those 2 questions. What else do you enjoy doing if you're not colouring? Gaming, diamond painting, reading, but listening. Reading, actively listening to reading books. That Audible, basically. Audible. And do you have any pets? And do you have any children? I have 2 children. Neither are human. So I have, yeah, I'm definitely one of those like fur baby mums. I have 2 French bulldogs. They are about to turn, actually, this month and next month, 4 and 5 respectively. So they're like getting a little bit older and it hurts my heart, but they have a wonderful life. So, and they are definitely the centre of my universe, the absolute epicenter. They control every decision, every purchase, every upgrade to our house, garden, anything, where we go away, what we do, where we go, who we visit, everything. They are my 2 dog babies. So 0 children that are human, 2 children that are French bulldogs. Crafting with Christy, 6949. I know. So crafting with Christy asks, what do you absolutely love colouring with and why? And who is your favourite colouring artist and why do you like their colouring books? So again, for the final time, if you guys would like me to do a absolute must purchase favourite artist video, put it in the comments down below. And I will do a proper video on that because it's too big a thing. I love colouring with pencils. I've never ever been able to find a trade-off or a swap, and yes, it frustrates me. Oh, super frustrates me, especially when I see like people churning out Kirby pages and just living their soft pastel alcohol marker best life, pulling out like a page an hour. It does frustrate me, it irritates me, it is what it is, but all the time I have calmed down about it. I prefer my hobby with pencils. I enjoy my colouring pages with pencils, and it is not a race. It is not a competition. It is a way to spend your free time creating something fun, and every so often we forget that because we're human and that's what happens, but I try and remind myself it's okay whether I have a channel or not, that I sometimes manage 1 page a month. Let's be honest, the absolute realistic truth, it's what it is. You can't see a thing. And it's tough realistically because it's definitely the route to a cause, and what heads you straight into burnout is just trying to create things that you don't want to do, you don't want to colour, you don't want to play with, that's not you. And in the end, my channel is a hobby channel. I make about 20 quid a month on my YouTube adverts because it's not a big enough channel to do anything else. I spend way more than that, like that is just way more, although I'm doing, if you've watched my hauls lately and my low buy, I'm doing very well, actually. Actually, chill out, Emma. Being hard on yourself, doing very well. It is what it is, basically. I will make the content that I think you're going to like in a version that I think I can continue and enjoy, and the pages that get done and the colouring gets done and the chatting that gets done, it is what it is. That's where we're at. What are we? We are 50 minutes in, and did I call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I didn't even edit that bit into the front of the video. I knew we'd be about there. That is all the questions you guys asked. So again, if you've got questions, put them in the comments, and if I get enough, I will do another video. If you'd love to see like the must compulsively purchase for me of my favourite artist list, I will do a video on that. And apart from that, guys, I hope you enjoyed my 6 sleeves in Ken Matsuda. And realistically, I mean, they're not bad. Once I pay attention and I'm not chatting, the luminance are fine. I just don't think they're going to be my favourite on this paper. They feel like too much work. They're beautiful pencils. They work amazing on a lot of papers. Not enjoying them the best life on this. Do be careful with your mucky paws, because stuff definitely transfers onto this paper, and I'm pretty sure it must be the ink itself moving, because like I said, I've just washed my hands. I don't know why I do that, but I always wash my hands before a video. I don't know. I feel like you should be looking at clean hands. It feels polite to me, so I don't know. But look at this. Like, it's everywhere. It's just muck. And apart from that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. I know it was basically me just like rambling for a really long time, but hopefully it kept you busy while you were looking down at your page, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.